Raja Ampat is the trip of a lifetime, but one decision can make or break your experience. Do you go on a liveaboard, stay at a resort, or go homestay hopping? In this video, we break down the real differences in cost, comfort, and diving so you can choose the one that fits you best. And stay until the end because we'll also be sharing a hybrid option that most people overlook, and it might just be the ultimate Raja Ampat travel hack. Okay, round one. Where are you sleeping and relaxing when you're not underwater? The homestay bungalow is iconic. You'll wake up each day in the heart of nature to the most beautiful birdsong and have instant access to amazing snorkeling outside your bungalow. But it's also the perfect example of Instagram versus reality. And that's why it takes third place for accommodation. We mean it when we say these are basic. With shared bathroom facilities and cold bucket showers, you have zero luxuries. Electricity is only available in the evening and early morning, and some of the homestays we stayed in didn't even have a fan. We'd recommend you leave your luxuries at home as none of the places we stayed in had locks, which is not ideal when travelling with cash and expensive equipment. The huts are completely open to the elements, which is fine when the weather is great. Not so fine when it's pouring, and in Raja Ampat it pours often and a lot. So, with such high humidity, be prepared for you and all your stuff to be damp the entire time. But the biggest issue we discovered, and you won't see this on Instagram, is that many of the homestays have rats. And all the other guests we were travelling with saw at least one, either in or around rooms at various homestays. It's a price you pay for this level of basic in such a remote location. With the damp, discomfort, and unwanted visitors, we barely slept for a whole week. But we woke up every morning in absolute awe of where we were staying. So for us, would we recommend it? Yes. But would we do it again? Probably not. The Liveaboard is a floating dive resort. It gives you the ultimate in dive comfort and convenience, meaning you'll have plenty of time between dives to relax and unwind. Some have ensuite bathrooms with hot showers, although most Indonesian liveaboards make do with shared shower facilities. Electricity is usually available 24/7, giving you plenty of time to charge your camera and strobe batteries. Plus, you'll have hotel-style service with room refreshers and fresh towels during your trip. But spending a full week on a boat might not be everyone's idea of the perfect holiday. The downside of this option is that your level of quality and comfort depends on your budget. So, unless you're prepared to fork out thousands on a trip, the accommodation will be cramped and stuffy. If you're travelling alone, it's unlikely you'll have a room to yourself. And although you can make friends for life on board, it can be pretty close quarters and socially overwhelming for some people. Due to the limited space compared to other options here, we put liveaboards at number 2 in the accommodation category. So our winner for the first round is the resort. You'll get that amazing Raja Ampat aesthetic with all the added benefits of resort-style cleanliness, comfort, and service. The rooms are spacious and airy with proper beds to sleep in, 24/7 electricity, and a safe place to keep all your belongings. You'll also have an ensuite bathroom with a hot shower. The peace and tranquility of Raja Ampat is still present, immersed in nature with instant access to snorkeling. But you won't need to worry about rats. Be mindful though, as most don't have AC. And although not as bad as in the homestays, dampness can still be an issue. So, if comfort is your priority and you want the best of space, cleanliness and privacy, plus the authentic Raja Ampat Island vibe that you don't get from living on a boat, go for the resort. Round 2. You are going to be burning a lot of calories on those dives, so who feeds you best? The homestays offer fresh local food that's surprisingly good and clean considering the lack of facilities, and you'll have an authentic communal vibe with space to interact with the other guests and talk about your dives over dinner. But the food is repetitive. Expect fish, rice and veggies every single day. And if you're like us and like to enjoy a drink at the end of the day, most islands won't offer alcohol. And if they do, only expect canned local beers. Again, it's super basic, so we can only put the homestay option at number 3 in this category. The food on Raja Ampat liveaboards is generally fantastic. Buffet style with a decent variation that manages to provide something different for every meal. You'll get soft drinks and 3 meals a day plus snacks. But they are limited by what they can store on the boat. And if you want an alcoholic beverage after the day's diving, stock is usually limited to cans and basic spirit mixer combos. Liveaboards can offer amazing food options, but the logistics of living on the boat mean that it's difficult to match resorts in this category with a sensible budget. Which is why we're putting liveaboards at number 2 for this category. When it comes to food, resorts are on another level. At Biodiversity Resort, we were treated to a huge variation each evening, with a combination of buffet style and table service that caters to all dietary requirements. You'll get varied breakfast options, and we even had tea and coffee delivered to the room if we wanted. Most resorts will have a proper bar with decent drink options, perfect for those that love a sunset cocktail after a day's diving. It's a level of quality and variety that you simply won't get on a liveaboard within a normal budget. Which is why land-based luxury wins again. Round 3, now for the painful part. The price tag. Everybody knows Raja Ampat is not a cheap destination due to its remote location. Although they are the cheapest option, we're still putting homestays at number 3. Expect to pay around $50 to $100 a night for extremely basic accommodation. And remember that this won't include any of your dives or excursions. You might end up finding that a budget liveaboard ends up costing less when you factor this in. Many people often comment that homestays are expensive for what you get. We're putting resorts at number 2 here. Prices start from around $250 per night. All the food is usually included, but most of the time this will not include diving or other excursions, the prices of which can really add up. Now, though expensive, we don't think liveaboards can be beaten on value for money. Which is why we're placing them at number 1 for divers. Ranging from around $1,200 all the way up to over $6,000 for a 7-day trip, it seems like a lot to pay up front. But this is your all-in price. That will include all your transfers, accommodation, food, diving, and other land-based excursions such as the viewpoints and island visits. You'll only be paying extra for any alcoholic beverages you drink on board. Round 4, now for the big one. You didn't come halfway around the world to eat or sleep, you came to dive. We're putting homestays and resorts at a joint 2nd here. They are both land-based, so the overall diving experience is very similar. However, going land-based may be for you if you want more flexibility with when and how often you dive. And if you want more time to spend relaxing on land or enjoying the snorkeling without having to stick to a liveaboard schedule. The downsides though are that you'll be hard pressed to cover all the dive sites from one resort or homestay, and the day trips can be long and uncomfortable when you're on a much smaller boat. The dive site choices often depend on the experience levels of other guests, and you may find yourself repeating dive sites. Experience levels tend to be a bit lower with a less up for it attitude when the resort or homestay vibe is more relaxed. For us, it's a little too relaxed. Our first choice here will always be liveaboards, because there's nothing quite like being out in Raja Ampat's incredible wilderness, waking up at sunrise and being the first people on the dive site when the fish are most active. If you're a hardcore diver whose priority is to dive, and you want the best underwater experience, liveaboards are the obvious choice. Staying on the boat means that you can cover all of Raja Ampat's best dive sites. The full week of diving will be done with the same group and same dive guide. And your cruise director will choose the optimal dive sites based on the conditions and currents. This means that liveaboard dives tend to be more action-packed. You'll have the full convenience of living on the boat which means longer surface intervals with time to relax and charge camera equipment between dives. It's the full-on pirate experience. But there are a couple of downsides that might not make it the right choice for you. You'll be paying for all the dives up front. So if you tend to get exhausted from too much diving or suffer from ear problems, this is something to consider. You'll also need to be up at sunrise every day if you don't want to miss any of the dives. So if you're not an early bird, you may prefer the resorts. For us, Liveaboards and Raja Ampat are best for experienced divers that love high octane diving with plenty of action. So before we get to our bonus hybrid option, here's our verdict so far. Best for diverholics, the Liveaboard. Personally, given the choice, we'd always go for a Liveaboard. If you're dive obsessed like us, we think it's worth sacrificing the comforts and flexibility of a resort for that pirate life experience. Best for luxury lovers, resorts. If you're not up for diving every day at 6 AM, you want a bit more flexibility and some pampering, go for a resort. You'll still have amazing diving without being bound to the Liveaboard schedule. Plus, you'll be home in time for snorkeling and sunset cocktails. You're also more likely to spot some of the amazing and unique wildlife Raja Ampat has to offer. For the best authentic Raja Ampat experience, choose Homestays. If you're a backpacker who's not so diving focused and want to get a truly immersive experience in off-grid Raja Ampat, then Homestay Hopping is your ultimate choice. You can stay in the iconic overwater bungalows and completely disconnect from the modern world. But we really weren't joking when we said that these were basic, and you will have a chance to see plenty of wildlife, just not always the good kind. Now, for those of you who have made it this far, and if none of these options feel quite right for you, there is a fourth option that most people don't realise exists. This is where Scuba Republic Raja Ampat do something genuinely different. Instead of staying on a boat for a full week or being fixed in one location on land, their dive safari moves you through central Raja Ampat over multiple days, diving the same high quality sites you'd expect from a Liveaboard, but sleeping on land each night in different island homestays. What this solves is a big trade-off we talked about earlier. You still cover a wide range of dive sites, you're not locked in to a boat schedule, and you actually experience Raja Ampat on land, not just from the water. We spent 7 days doing this route through central Raja Ampat, and it surprised us how much ground it covers without the intensity or confinement that comes with living on a boat. It's not a replacement for a Liveaboard if your goal is non-stop diving, but if you want serious diving combined with flexibility, space, and a more grounded island experience, this is a very compelling option. We've linked the dive safari below, and if you want to see exactly what the homestays, the rain, the wildlife, and the diving are really like, you can watch the full series right here. Thanks for watching. We hope it's been helpful, and we'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.